Okay, happy to be here. Happy to talk about myself, happy to talk about my country. And my name is Munduu, born and bred in Botswana. So Botswana is quite a small country, down southern part of Africa. And it's a landlocked country surrounded by other countries like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia. So it's a small country that covers about 582,730 square kilometers. So when we compare to other outside countries, they say it's quite the size of France, a little bit the size of Tetris. Okay, and as I said, my name is Munduu. I'm from here. I've been working in the field of wilderness, and I like the wildlife life since I started while I was young, grown and bred in the wilderness, in the cattle post where I used to see most of the animals. Okay, I went through my school, and from there my first profession that I went on was all about the automotive mechanics, of which I went for it for 4 years. And then as I was proceeding with this, I found myself getting into love about the wildlife. That's when I turned my profession to be the safari guide. Since, as I said, since I've changed my profession into the wilderness, now I am about 14 years experience on this. Doing well with game, flora, I can say flora and fauna, of which is the most interested in Botswana. As I was passed on, I was talking about the rhinos. Okay, in our country we had both species of rhinos, the black and the white. But now, when we look at the numbers or the figures, we find that the black rhinos are more least, and then the white rhinos are more a little bit good numbers. Not actually about the breeding, that they breed nicely, they both breed well. But now when we look at the terms, on those years when they were more hunting, black rhinos were more killed because of the good quality of the horn that they got. And then as we go on again, there are other endangered species that can be found in this country. Not all about the rhinos only. We have other species like wild dogs, cheetahs. All these are going into declination. Mostly, not only that hunters are going on them, this one is mostly all about the conflict with the farmers when they go onto the domesticated animals like sheep, goats, calves of the cow, so whereby they ended up being poisoned or being shot down. And of course the breeding on some species is not doing well. Not all about those, but as well they can be taken down for whatever they got, like the skin, everything of which is not good at all. That's why I said earlier that we must learn, pass this education to people to conserve our animals. Like here, some of the area in Botswana, like in Chobe or Kavango, we had the problem of the infection known as the foot and mouth disease. There are a lot of buffaloes that we have under nothing here due to the water and the grassland savanna that favors them. The habitat is good for them. Now the problem, it's all about being the carriers of the foot and mouth disease. We had the diamond as the first source of income in our country, secondly tourism, and thirdly was beef. Now these issues of foot and mouth infection now have affected this third source of income to our country, that our cattle now get affected. Some of the places like in Chobe now is no longer exporting our beef outside country because of being red zone due to foot and mouth. The buffaloes, they carry the infection, but they not get infected. As they carry it, they pass it to our cattle. The cattle are the ones that are getting infected. From before, we knew that this infection is only affecting the cloven-hoofed animals, like cattle, some of the wild animals that has a cloven hoof. But as the studies goes on, today we heard even the elephants can be affected. Being the symptoms, the legs get swollen, especially on the wrist. Then those shows that that elephant is affected by the foot and mouth. At past ages, when you see the elephant swollen like that, we thought it was the snare. Yet some can be the foot and mouth infection. Not meaning that as a safari guide, I have to conserve because I'm a safari guide. I say everybody has to have love on wild animals. Let me pass through the little story that I had here. There is some of the species which are hidden, but they are there. If you tell somebody, you can't believe it's there, because they are very rare to see. There's one scully, we call it the scully anteater, or is the pangolin. I've been guiding, and I'm over 40 years today, but I saw it once in my life. And I saw this while I was 14 years old. Even if you bring it here, it's almost over 30 years now without seeing them. But I always keep on going into the bush every time. So those are the most rare and beautiful animals. And it's a highly endangered species. Because people were used to kill it, they believe that when you get it, you kill it, you get the lucky ritual from it. So now they're very rare to see. As I'm seated here, I'm both experienced on boat cruising, working with the water, as well as a jeep safari in the bush. So this experience, it's more a little bit similar, but it can differ there and there. Okay, like to pass it through, it might sound funny. You don't see crocodiles inland, but you see crocodiles down the river. You see the elephant out in the bushes as well, you see the elephant here. Okay, now, as we drive out in the bush, you can see more, especially in the afternoon, than when you cruise down, especially in the morning, unlike when you cruise down here, because down the river you just concentrate along the same channel. But like here in Chobe, where I got a lot of experience, more animals, that we see them down the river when it's hot. But when it's cold or during rainy season, that's when we have the difficulties of sighting down the river. Only when you go deep into the park, that's when you see good games. The reason being, that we will be having the good seasonal vegetation, of which is more preference for the game, as well as the natural pens are filled with rainwater. Now you find that the game are out sticking there other than coming down to the river. But since the elephant, they're used to these permanent waters of the Chobe River, now they normally come down here, live in that water so that they can play around, bath in the river, of which is quite exciting. Okay, let's do this. As I said earlier, that we have to pass education to people to conserve our wildlife. What I see in future in my country, or looking today what's going on, I believe we're going to improve. Firstly, we don't have any hunting in Botswana. We ban hunting. It's a zero hunting country. And since that time, looking at the animals coming out or going to places where they've never been spotted, this shows improvement. The number of animals is going up. Our poaching is under control. No much animals are killed. Hunting has been banned. No animals are killed. Instead, they are taken only down by the natural process, of which is supposed to be there. But due to our iconic animals that has been killed for their ivory, skins, and everything, now has been coming to an end. So now, as a community, as we guys, we put hand in this, helping to assist this goes on. Then I'll be very happy to see my country booming up, going up, being the best in tourism. Thank you. Okay, now to talk about the poaching, if you can go a little bit back, I was talking of the problem of poaching that we had in the country. And then later, that's when, because we have been overpowered by poachers, and then the government decided to deploy the army into our anti-poaching scheme. And as I said, that from there, that's when our poaching improved. It quickly goes down, declines quickly. I have to say it out, folks, coming to Botswana for poaching, either elephant or anything, you know that you are at a high risk. Since now we deploy the army in, and the profession of the soldier is to shoot before he gets shot. So here, during poaching, when you're armed, he is armed, the anti-poaching group expect you, there is to shoot to kill. So don't ever try to come to step in Botswana for killing animals here, because you will be shot to kill. Thank you.